Yeah, because it's working right now. This backyard is atrocious. It's overgrown, and there's stuff everywhere, and it's all my fault. So, I'm gonna fix it. I saw something exciting though when I was going by. So, if you don't know, asparagus takes 3 to 5 years of growing. So, like, it takes a while. And I planted some last year, and I didn't see anything for a while. And I was like kind of sad, going like, okay, I get it. Like, maybe it's not happening. But here, they're coming in. Look at my little preciouses. Oh, I'm so excited. I gotta weed it out a bit more so they have a little more room to grow, but oh my goodness, I'm so excited. They're gonna be big and bushy. I'll eventually be able to grow my own asparagus. Because that stuff is expensive, man. So, I'm excited. Hopefully you saw the bunny earlier. If you're wondering what I was doing the black thing back here, I tried my darndest to plant some hydrangeas. It turns out rabbits like them. So that's the one thing me and the rabbit don't agree on. Everything else is fine. But this one's trying to come back. That little tiny speck of green there. So I'm hoping I can save it and it'll come back. Now I think we're good to start mowing. Sounds like there's something in my shed. I kind of left the door open. Oh, it's a bee. Oh, it's a bumblebee! Oh, my poor baby. Okay, sorry, I gotta put down the camera for a second. No, that way, nope. Okay, 1 second. Bumblebee, 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 bumblebee. Right. Those windows don't really open. That way, that way. Is that a hummingbird? I think I saw a hummingbird. I think my heater's out. Okay. Focus. It's like the worst place to be. Gotta be. I need holy cow. Right side, found more pots. So we got a before, and I was about to film more, but now my neighbors are outside. So I'm going to hide. I need 70, but I'm not there. So at least a minimum 58, because I can put these herbs into like big spread pots. Like I can fit like 4 or 5 in each of these kind of pots. They're pretty big. But the ones that really need their nibble pots are the peppers and the tomatoes. So hence the minimum 58. I just need the time to go and do it all, because, well, you saw I did the whole backyard. And now I need to sit down for a bit because my leg's killing me. It's already 4 o'clock. I'm kind of sad I wasn't able to put any of these guys out today. But I looked at the forecast and it's all going below 10. And if you don't know, the rule of thumb, at least from my dad's standard of planting, because I trust him the most, his garden looks amazing when we go there for like the Canada Day long weekend. I'm going to show you his garden. It's nuts. It's already blooming like crazy. Anyways, I follow his standard, and the standard for that is if it goes below 10 degrees, then it's no-go. No plants outside. You gotta cover them. And then he was even telling me there might be a frost tonight, and I'm like, well, luckily I don't really have anything out there yet. I didn't jump the gun or anything because I was kind of slow to doing everything. So blessing in disguise. Anyways, gonna finish up my food and then go talk to Andrew about stuff I'm planning for this week, because it's gonna be a busy week. Alright, so hopefully this works. But me trying this out again. Actually, can I be professional? Or not? Because it's a bit chilly out today. Okay, two hands, one second. So, why are you kind of looking at my face? Okay, no. Okay. See how this works. Because, like, I've been holding it here, but now I'm going to try here. Hopefully it's testing things. Anyways, first thing first, I forgot my math, so I'm going to go back inside and double check my scores here. So I want to focus on the peppers. And I think I want to put the peppers in the squares. Right? Yes. 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 26. I think there's 25 of them. So I think that should line up really well. I want to keep track of which ones are which, but I don't want to make a bajillion labels. So I'm just trying to put them all in similar pots. Like right now, the peppers are going to go into the square pots. But the thing is, I can tell peppers from tomatoes pretty easily. Here, I can show you. So like, these are tomatoes. The biggest dead giveaway are like the little wavy parts of the leaf. Here's a good example. This wavy leaf, dead giveaway, tomato plant. Here, wavy leaf, dead giveaway, tomato plant. But if you look at the peppers, stray leaves, peppers. Why aren't you getting any water? I filled this tray. Like you can see, everyone else got water this morning. You need help. Does it really matter because it's my own garden that I don't know which tomatoes are which? No. I want to know though, for the sake of like, you curate every year. Where if one tomato doesn't do well in your area, then you know. Maybe I'll write it down. I think I'm gonna make a cheat sheet and write it all down so I can reference it and know which plants are which when I'm bringing them in and out. Because right now it's really easy that, actually, you know, I already did put one of the breeze gold in the square. I forgot about that. I'm looking at it now. So Abes are gonna go in circles. Breeze gold are gonna go into squares. Early. No, I think the Hungarian hot peppers, I'll have to do the math again. I think the Hungarian hot peppers are going to go in squares, and the early wonders are going to go in circles. And then the rest of the Abe tomatoes need to go in the circles as well, but that's a low priority because I already have like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I have 19, 18 tomatoes ready to go off to the side. So having more is like nice, but not necessary. But I'm also promised my sister-in-law some more plants because they didn't get to do anything. So yeah, we'll go from there. I'm going to try my best. So I'm going to clarify right now. I am not a plant expert. My dad is. I am not. I grew up on 8 acres of land, and every summer we would help my dad in the garden, do from seedlings to transfers to upkeep and to harvest, and then canning and da 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 da. Still learning the ropes quite a bit because it turns out my dad did a lot more behind the scenes than I ever saw, and he's trying to teach me. And as you can see, if this is what you wish for, I will try to tell you how I did it. Because I talked to somebody today, actually funny enough, and they're like, I can't do from seed. I can't do from seed. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's a struggle for some people. I'll just tell you what I did, and maybe that'll change what you do. Starting with the type of soil you use, you can use potting soil. I find that it drains too quickly personally. And then I like the trays that have a bottom with no holes so that you can put water in it and it soaks up the proper way. As I said earlier, plants prefer water from the bottom. It's natural. Next, for transferring, you saw that I did a 50-50. Again, having thicker soil that holds water well on the bottom, and then a fluffier soil on the top helps with the roots growth. The roots are baby roots. They cannot go through rough, tough soil very easily. It's hard on them. So having the fluffy soil on top, where as they grow, helps to promote that and strength. And then the rougher, tougher soil, make sure they don't tip over in the wind because you do want to put them outside. And then the other idea is that as the top portion dries out from the roots, grabbing those moisture, it grab the top so equilibrium the moisture without, and the plant doesn't go dry quick, so you don't lose it. So I can go away for a weekend, for example, and they all don't die. Eventually the roots will go downwards because the bottom will be more moisture and they'll go towards it, and it builds for a healthier plant. I hope that helps. That's the biggest things about plant upkeep for some people. They maybe just didn't know or didn't think about it, or, oh wow, that makes sense. So I hope that helps. Again, not an expert. This is just what I do, and it seems to work. And from here, I'm going to go into these goldens. I said the biggest ones in here are definitely going to take the bigger pots, and I'm going to work from the biggest downwards because I don't know how much time I had. Anna already woke up once. I fed her and she went back down to sleep thinking this, because like an hour nap is not long enough for how much she played today already. And I'm going to try my best to go from there. And So for transplanting, it's not too hard. I love, personally, I don't use anything fancy. This is a kitchen spoon, like a teaspoon. I steal them from the kitchen, and I make my little walls, because the fluffy stuff's easier to work with, and that's why I spray it down a bit, because it was already a little bit wet, thinking it's because like just this moisture kept in the pot that I had earlier. But I spray down a little bit more just to help with the roots and the transfer, and it's easier to work with. And then the bottom stuff is like a little bit sludgy, to be honest, because it's a little silty. But anyways, it works. I'm happy with it so far. Things I would change. I personally need more of these transfer, like in between pots from Traded List and the garden. I'm gonna put this out here right now. The majority of these pots I got for free at the side of the road at the end of the season. So if you want to start building your collection, but I personally don't like investing in buying like plastic pots. It's not something I like. I have the recycling bin right here, because I'm even gonna start using like these are the cups from my drinks. I wash them out and I can use them, because like I am running low right now, to be honest. And then other things like, oh, these are pots, like these are plants I bought last year at the end of this, like end of the, what the supermarket's called, the season, I guess. They were like barely $1.50 each. I reuse them because like some of them are pretty dang good. They're heavy and they're good for reusing. Why not? And then people, if you pay attention to your Facebook Marketplace, will literally put pots out at the side of the road for free. I guess I can work and talk. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this is gonna go yet, but we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I got the majority of my pots. Like, I don't know if you've gotten a good look around this room, but I've gotten the majority of my pots free at the side of the road, either through seeing them on Facebook Marketplace, like people advertise it, or via just driving. Like I would be on my way, funny enough, I was on my way to do a different Facebook Market pickup, and they were there inside the road, and the guy happened to just be putting them out as I was pulling out. He was on the phone, so we didn't talk or anything, but he just like gestured like, yeah, please take them. I don't want them. I'm like, okay, cool. And that's how that happened. So when I transfer, I do light taps. I don't like hoof, like no, don't hoof it. The poor roots need like space. We're not smothering the love here. This is light taps, little sprays to help the dirt settle and the roots, the water flows. As the water moves through the soil, it will pull it downwards and put them in the right direction. Because as you can see during transplantation, like I use, again, just a tiny little spoon because it scoops them. The little cocoon they have built for themselves in these little things. I don't try to disturb it too much because like, who wants to be disturbed? Trust me, they have plants. Plants do not like being disturbed whatsoever. If they could help it, they would start in the garden and just stay there. But the problem is that, at least here in Canada, where I am, the growing season isn't the best for these plants. And so you have to start them early inside to get results outside, or best results outside. You can start them outside, but by the time harvest season comes around, you maybe got a couple tomatoes because they haven't really matured yet. My other biggest pet peeve about people and plants is that assuming they're dead. People are like, oh, once they're done flowering, they're no longer useful. I've seen a lot of people throw, like, I think my number one is that my first big geranium that I have, that's admittedly looking kind of scraggly right now because I should have cut it down the size to let it regrow. I just didn't do it because I didn't think about it. I have the time. And my dad had it for a bit too. So just the back and forth of that sort of accidentally made it fall to the wayside a bit. That plant, funny enough, I got, oh goodness, a couple years ago now, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I got that plant. And I was working as an archaeologist for the summer, aka just digging a lot, if you don't know. And we were digging in behind a suburb area, and I guess people are like, oh, there's nothing back there but trees. I can just throw whatever I want behind there and it's fine. And they proceeded to do so. And so they had their, I got water on me. Oop, Angela, what are you doing? Focus. See, that's the wrong thing to do. See how that happened? It didn't like that. Don't do that. Yeah, focus for a second here. Poor little plant. I'm so sorry. Okay. and a little more dirt for support. And if you're curious, tomato plants, they're really hardy in the sense that, like, so that you see how much of the stem I'm covering with dirt. It's okay. You can actually, my dad was telling me a story actually that's happened just this year with one of his plants, is that the top broke off from one of a bad windstorm, because his were outside a little bit earlier than mine, because like he's in a warmer part than I am of this province, and he just put it in water and it started to grow like tap roots from the bottom of it. So like they can grow new stems from almost any part of their body, as long it's like it's from the main, like from a stemish part. So fun fact there. Much better. Sorry, little plant, I did not mean to literally douse you there. I apologize profusely. Okay, my story. They ended up throwing their old potted plants at the end of the season, like so May, I don't know, September-ish, I guess, over their back fence, aka into where we were digging. I came across, so there's like a geranium, and then there's these little flowers, what are they called, like the little trumpet, like floppy flowers, I don't know what they're called, and the ones that you should see at the superstore, because people buy them and they're easy and look cute. So I knew the droopy flowers end of season not gonna last. Like they were those ones that had been there sitting there too long, and but the geranium are hardy little plants. Like you want a plant that it's harder to kill than you think. Geraniums, and when they look dead, they aren't dead. I ended up taking it home in a grocery bag, and when they're still plastic. So I had able to take it home, and I still have it right now, because if you take it in and out, like it makes a great indoor plant in my opinion, because it's cute, it doesn't get the big, and you can break it down pretty easily, and you can cut off offshoots of it when it does get a little bit wily. And that's my big one now. That's my big plant. And my dad actually cut some offshoots of it over the, like when he was caring for it when I was gone in Yellowknife for a year. He cared for it and actually even cut offshoots off of it and made new plants. And then he has the, well, I guess carbon copy of that plant now in his garden, because it's so pretty. And someone just threw it away. They just threw it over the fence. Like, I can tell you right now, those plants brand new, at least here, are about $30. And like brand new, like if you get them at the end of the season, you probably get a deal or whatever. But then if you are getting it in the season, getting a deal, it's worth it, because then you can keep it for next year and keep it in your house if you can make the room for it. They don't take it that much room, in my opinion. Anyways, so that's one of my biggest pet peeves, is people just throwing away plants when they could be still used or safe, or and then the worst part is buying them again next year. It's not that hard. It just drives me insane. Oh, that's why you're not scooping rice. Don't forget to clean your utensils. Anyways, that was a much better scoop. Hey, no hitchhikers. Out. What's the other? I'm up close. Am I wearing the appropriate attire again? No. Do I care? No. I think the funniest thing was meeting my husband's mother-in-law, who's like the complete opposite way of raising her kids, of like, oh, don't do that, you'll get dirty, kind of thing. I'm like, then she met me and she's like, why aren't you wearing gloves? I'm like, I don't like gloves. She's like, why aren't you wearing shoes? I'm like, I don't like shoes. She's like, why aren't you doing this? I'm like, look, I didn't do this growing up, and now it's uncomfortable me as an adult, and I don't like doing it. I didn't even like drinking water. It took forever for my mom to make me want to drink water as a kid. She even buy like that flavored water. I don't know if it's still out there or not, by Purely or something, I think it's called. It was like lemon flavored water was my jam. I loved it. And it wasn't like, so it wasn't like drinking Gatorade or anything. It wasn't like pure sugar. I don't know how it made it taste like lemon. Maybe probably not the best ingredients. But there's me drinking water, and that's what mattered. I think my mom didn't like it too much, or my dad didn't like it as much because of the salt content that they had in it. But water's water, and you need a little bit of electrolytes in your body, right? They're all slightly tilted. It's like I put them near a window, and it's like, the sun, bring me to the sun. I'm like, look, I'm sorry, I would put you outside. Actually, I don't know if you can see. I showed you earlier, like those ones out there. I had to move them from the side of the house because like there's a tree and rock. All right, so I got my pots, and I feel like I need to explain a couple things. So this is a mixed mesh, but we're gonna get there. So explaining this one, this is quite big. This is overkill by a long shot. Like these is probably more of what we want right now. But my dad was telling me that he actually saved one of his pepper plants from last season, let it grow in the house, and then now it's putting back in the garden. So I'm like, do I just want a pepper pot houseplant? I kind of do, especially this one, the Hungarian hot peppers. And these, I actually forgot to say, these were saved from seed. I feel like I should explain this. I'm not mic'd at the moment, so here's the difference between the two, if you're curious. When they're that together, like you saw how close, I'll do it again and walk you through it this time. But so when you put multiple seeds in one hole, which I do because not all of them, like some seeds are gonna be duds, and then it kind of sucks that you don't have anything pop up. Like very possibly those ones that have nothing in them could be just duds. Nothing in them, then the seed was no good. But there's cases where both seeds are good and they both pop up. Hence this one right here, for example, right? The one I just did. So I got 2 pots ready to go because, like, again, plants don't like being out and about on their own too much. I still scoop them up as normal. And then luckily this soil is still very wet from when I watered them this morning. You have long roots. Well, this makes my job a little bit easier. So what you want to do is you try your best to separate them so they each have their own little clump of dirt, but it doesn't always work that way. And the next step you want to do, especially if you find the dirt sticking to the roots, spray them down a bit, and then all you have to do is like gently tease them apart so that they come apart into 2 separate little things. Okay, see how long this root is here? I want it to make sure it's as long as like that in the pot. So what I want to do is I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to push down deep in the pot, make a little nice house for him, and then I'm going to hold him where I want my fingers to be ground level per se. Wrap around the plant until it's all nice and filled in. Now, because I lost some of the dirt when I was taking it out and separating them, I'm gonna add a bit more. That's why I like working with a tray, because then the dirt doesn't get everywhere and I can reuse it as I need to, like this. And there, happy little plant. And then you do its sibling. Same method. Try and hold it by the dirt because it's heavy, and if you hold it by the plant, see all the dirt off, because this dirt's a little bit wet, too wet, in all honesty. Because I did a good douse this morning because I don't always have a chance to water them in the morning, so I don't want them to dry out and die. So this morning was a watering morning, so they're a little more wet than they should be, but not enough to make them keel over or anything. And then I do this, add a little bit of dirt, and you go tap, 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 tap. There you go. And you're just like, well, why are you spraying them? It's like, again, yeah, they don't need the water. This dirt, like, it's pretty wet, but spraying them and having the water flow through and downwards pulls the roots downwards and makes sure they face the right way. I'm not doing too much for these ones because, like I said, these are the ones with no holes in them. But yeah, just as an update of how to deal with plants of more tray pods with more than one plant in them. It was a good day to get coffee, at least. Did I know it was gonna rain today? Yes. Did I have to go out anyway? Yeah, also yes. Why didn't you drive? Unfortunately, I am carless today. Andrew had to go in. But I figured today would be a good day to get some stuff done and to pick up a special rubber ducky before they're all sold out. Entering a ducky cosplay contest. So we're gonna decorate Anna's duck as her favorite character. I haven't fully decided yet, but I'm thinking Cookie Monster. So this entrance has an awning. You can see a clear, dry spot. And they keep doing this, and I can't wait to get my shed. And we're gonna put it right here because they can't see this doorway anywhere. They keep putting it here. Our parcel's here. There's no awning. And it's pouring rain. Like, just put it over there. Why? All right, Anna's down for her nap, as you can see here. And I got a surprise for her. It was on sale. And if you know, you know, this is gonna be amazing. And the front room is getting a revamp once again. Let all this inflate and give it all this in the wash.
I just cut myself on a piece of wire. It's just a scratch. Well, it is. Well, not hardly bleeding, but.
Mom?
Yeah.
Dad cut himself
I just scraped my hands up.
Oh, okay.
on the wire. So what's happening is my dad grew extra of his plants, and he usually gives them to his neighbors and stuff, and now me. And I am currently, so all I had was big pots left. So I'm putting these like itty bitty tomato plants in comparison into these big pots. Where my dad's like, well, why don't you just put the big plants in the big pots? And I'm like, then use the small pots for your tiny plants. And I'm like, that's a good idea. So that's what I'm currently doing. My dad was trying to fix our lawnmower because the pull string wasn't recoiling properly and we getting stuck on things. And then as you might have slightly overheard, he kind of cut himself, unfortunately. So now he's inside getting himself fixed up. See, in comparison? Here, I'll get the other one. So, my tomato plant. My dad's tomato plant. My tomato plant. My dad's tomato plant. My itty bitty little pepper plant. Here's pepper plant. Itty bitty pepper plant. I ask him plant questions because admittedly he did start way earlier than I did, but he's also just look how beautiful that plant is. It looks so healthy. That's why I ask him questions. And that's when I pass on the good plant tips to you guys. Or you pass them back to me, because you know I'm not an expert by any stretch of the way. We're gonna try and put the bok choy in the garden, but we'll see how today goes. Right now I'm just happy that these are getting done. So the reason why my parents are here in the first place, well, besides seeing their lovely granddaughter, is actually watching their lovely granddaughter. Is we're going to a wedding. It's actually being like a cool outdoor Victorian wedding. Hey, what's up? You all bandaged up?
Yep.
I'm keeping the leaves because apparently what you need to do is separate them, let this just dry, because the soil's really wet right now, and the soil's too wet, it's not going to be good for the plants. I'm letting it air dry a little bit, and I'm going to make the hole, and then over the summer, when the soil has a hard time keeping the moisture, I put the leaves back around to help out with that. That's the battle plan right now for dealing with my not so great, very porous, dry, and 2 second soil, but we'll see how it works. I was just told 10 more minutes of playing outside in the dirt. I'm trying to provide for my family. Spoon? They keep falling off the spoon, and panic sets in because they keep falling apart a bit. So my dad was saying, I guess you can't see, hang on. You see how much white is still above the ground? You can actually, this is all the bok choy. I probably already said that. But you can plant these guys all the way here, up to the tippy top here. na dyan your little leaves. Lipat na dyan. And then there we go. One happy little bok choy in the soil. Well, actually, it's now currently 4 little happy bok choy in the soil. All right, got a few more to go. Actually, a lot more to go, but we'll get there.